In today's video, we're going to be talking about sleeping. I'm going to be answering some questions about sleeping, and later on in the video, we are going to look at some phrasal verbs and idioms. What time do you usually go to bed? I usually go to bed at around 11 o'clock. I always like to go to bed at the same time every night, but it is true that if there is a good film on TV, then I might stay up a bit longer, like until 11:30 or 11:45. What time do you usually wake up? I usually wake up at about 6:30 or 6:45 in the morning. During the week, I have to wake up a lot earlier because I have to go to work, but at the weekend, I can lie in a bit. I usually lie in to around 9:30, but if I have to wake up early because we're going out for the day, then I don't mind really. Do you manage to sleep as much as you need? Well, everyone always says that you have to sleep around 8 hours per day. In theory, I do get that much sleep, but the reality is that I'm a light sleeper. A light sleeper is someone who wakes up at the slightest noise. So, if I'm asleep and I hear one of my neighbours, for example, then I wake up and it's hard for me to get back to sleep again. I know that other people sleep like a log, which means that they sleep very well and very heavily and don't realize if there are noises or lights around them. And I have always wanted to be that sort of person, especially those people who can fall asleep on public transport so easily. They definitely sleep like a log. Have you ever suffered from insomnia? No, I have never suffered from insomnia, but I do know that a lot of people around me, like my friends or family members, have this condition. It's very hard for them to fall asleep at night, and when they do fall asleep, then they wake up quite often during the night. Like I said before, I am a light sleeper, but I don't consider that I actually have a problem sleeping. The next question is, what keeps you awake at night? Well, I would say that my pets keep me up at night the most because I have a cat and she meows the whole night when she gets bored. People have told me that it's because I only have one cat, but if I had two, then she wouldn't meow throughout the night, but I don't want to risk getting another cat because you can imagine what would happen if both of the cats started to meow all night. That would be even worse. Another thing that keeps me up is the hot weather in the summer. There aren't many days where the weather is too hot to sleep in England, but when I go on holiday to places like Italy, France or Spain, then I notice the heat quite a lot. Do you use or have you ever used any special methods that help you get to sleep? No, I have never ever used any special method to help me fall asleep, like sleeping pills or herbal remedies, anything like that. The only thing I've really used is a nightcap. Nightcaps are objects that you put over your eyes to fall asleep at night, especially when it is bright. In the UK, in the summer, it gets light very early in the morning, so you might wake up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning thinking that it's time to get up, but it isn't. it's just because the birds start singing early because the sun rises at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I have used a nightcap so that I didn't notice that the sun was rising. People also use nightcaps when they are traveling. The next question is, do you ever oversleep? No, I don't ever tend to oversleep because I always set an alarm in the morning and I think that I know that I have to get up at that time. If I set an alarm for the weekend, like on a Saturday or a Sunday, just because I have the intention to get up early but I don't have anything planned, then maybe I might oversleep in this case. I don't actually have an alarm clock because I think that your mobile phone does the job. The phrasal verb to drop off means to fall asleep easily without intending to do so. So, for example, if you're on the sofa and you fall asleep while watching a film, then you drop off because you didn't actually want to fall asleep. And the phrasal verb doze off is very similar. It means to go into a light sleep for a short period of time, so maybe for like 10 minutes. I normally crash out when I have been for a run or have had a very busy day. To crash out means to fall asleep very quickly because you are tired. The next question is, do you dream a lot? Yes, I do dream a lot while I'm sleeping, but I can't remember the dreams most of the times. The only dreams that I can actually remember are nightmares, because during the nightmare, then you normally wake up, whereas when you have a nice dream, then it doesn't necessarily wake you up because it isn't very traumatic. I was quite interested in finding out what the most frequent nightmares are for adults. The top ones are falling, being chased, death, feeling lost, and feeling trapped. I found that quite interesting because these aren't nightmares that I usually have. There are some other ones, like missing an important event or waking up late, which I do sometimes have when I have to wake up early to go to the airport. Then I hardly sleep and I keep tossing and turning, which means to move about a lot because I think that I'm going to miss my flight. I know that a lot of people get this one. Some other ones are your teeth falling out, natural disasters, feeling unprepared for an exam, being paralyzed, or even drowning. And then the least common ones are going bald, technology malfunction, and inability to find your car. I suppose that it's because when some people leave the supermarket, they can't remember where they parked the car, so maybe that could be one of their fears, but maybe it actually means something else. Maybe it symbolizes something. I'm not really sure. Before we finish, we have some idioms. To not sleep a wink means to not fall asleep at all. A catnap is a little sleep, usually during the day and not at night. So if you fall asleep for 15 minutes on the sofa, that is a catnap. And lastly, sleeping like a baby means sleeping very well. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.